We say Namaste in India, and good evening to all of you present here at this mirthful and joyous circumstance here created by the various artists and those introduced and those who are present. The flute going on, this is the atmosphere. I'm very happy to be here, delighted rather, because I have been staying here for some time, often, and having the friend again here, Lieutenant Governor Brad Owen and Senator Bob Hassan. I am happy that you were also there, but I'm missing Congressman Jim McDermott, who invited me to be the guest chaplain at the House of Representatives in 2015. I have a long list of honorable people here to thank. Jared New in Face, Bellevue City Deputy Mayor, my neighbor, who because I was talking too much could not take his food. Lisa Mannion, King County Prosecutor. Jimmy Mata, Burrier City Council Member. Brad Miyake, the manager gentleman, is very happy. James Bush, King County Outreach, Consul General of Japan, Hisao Inakwagi, Ascenter NG, and esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, I feel honored to be sitting before you and feel humble because you have given me a clap. Thank you very much to start with the day. Thank you for being present here for celebrating this book and the declarations. Without going into the details of this book, which is about 8 volumes, 34,000 lines, written over 9 years, with no intentions of publications at the time. It was being written, suddenly someday it came, it was published. When the war, before proceeding further, we must understand what these 3 words Shri Guru Bhagavat means. Fundamentally, Shri is an epithet, a title given to anyone. A Shri, Mr. Swendra, Shri God, Shri anything, you're honorable. Guru means a teacher, a mentor, who is added with little spirituality or power, but sometimes in any language, any religion, any country. When I am saying Shri Guru Bhagavat is the writing about the details of such characters from time in Hinduism for 5,000 years and not limited to it is general theory. You think of a Shaolin master, the intensity, this, they are so close with each other, giving each other. How can a best student, best teacher combine in what methodology to get the best outcome? Here the teacher, you call it a teacher, a mentor. In India, they call it a little differently because ancient times, when the students used to go for training, they would be the teacher for 12 years, 10 years. And the total life used to depend on them, all sorts of things. From education, language, warfare, cooking, collecting wood from the forest, social behavior, ethnicity, everything. Their total life was covered by them. This is in many of the places. As I told you, Shaolin monk or Japanese monks, you see in the Southeast Asia or the Sufi saints, you see, if you listen anything, the factors are common. There is more than a rational relation between the good teacher and the student. Wherever you see this pupil or the intern or the teacher are vibing properly, It is not only a rational matter that can give it the, no. There is some amount of emotional link also. Without that emotional link, I don't think mechanically you can give your best to anyone. For us in India, and there are two types of these gurus. One is formal, education, childhood till then. The other is informal. So far I am concerned, the informal education is much more important for the life as a whole. Whereas formal education may be for skill, knowledge and attribute of the characteristics of a man. Skill, attitude and knowledge is formal education. Informal education is the totality of life building which starts from mother. She is the first teacher of us, we expect. Therefore we have lifted there, we have got prayers in the name of mother and father, because that is where the first informal education starts. Any mother for that matter. Another concept is coming here. One of our ancient sages or wise men said that anything you learn from is a guru, or gives you, even a bird or an uneducated man telling you something, if you can accept it properly, it helps you, is a guru or a master. Let's not go by these words much. How do you learn? The capacity, how do you impart knowledge? Both ways. One has to be a teacher to give, the other one has to receive. They must be equally the same frequency. Otherwise it doesn't happen. Okay. While saying so, all this thing. What is in this book? This is like an encyclopedia giving not only of my religion, of all religions you will find. Because the commonness of the masters, or the spiritualism, the disciples of Christ, or our disciples in the Hinduism, they are fundamentally the same. They are fundamentally the same. Because somebody has to give, somebody has to accept. If they are in love and in the ethical standard, is much better. Without that, and that's an ethical principle or spiritual principle between the pupil and a teacher is an unwritten contract, which as a convention, the society accepts. That was more prevalent in earlier times when science was not developed. People lived in jungle, they were so attached to each other. They lived because of this principle of being together, appreciating each other, elder and junior, passing on knowledge. I won't go to the details of it. You know all the aspects, who is a good teacher, how to be a good teacher, how should he improve himself to be a good teacher, all the more necessary today. I'll tell you why, when the times are changing very fast. Who is a good student, how to be a good student? Gentlemen and ladies, you will be very happy to know that this book has been translated into English and Odia language by this school, which was just the best school in India, the best day boarding school in India for last 2 years at Bhubaneswar. They have translated, they are using it. They have taken up the subject, relevant subject, and converted it into education. Our point is, what is the future generation? Me, you are fine. I am 76 plus. How long? What is the number? But whatever we are writing, I am writing with a view to that one. How to get out of blind belief, one thing. It's all right to believe, a cultural belief of certain things, but one has to get out of certain blind belief, particularly some countries. How to train them in that? One more example. How to put a question to the teacher. There is a writing in our language called Prashno Parishada. The whole book deals with how to ask questions. And then the standard of questioning, the student, in fact some teachers should create the type of questions that students should be asking. There should be classes telling the student how they should ask questions. Because today, with the artificial intelligence, the total material that is being collected. The most important thing is what question exactly you are asking, how correctly to get the correct answer. I think the IT guys will agree with me. How correctly you are asking the question. Future of artificial intelligence will go for this questioning methodology. That is one thing. Number two, with Corona, we have learned our lesson. With Corona has given us lesson, quite a bit of lesson. And maybe that lesson of adversity, being human beings under the proper guidance, where we have converted to creativity. The best human being is that, or the human society, that is the infinite capacity of converting pain to creativity. We had wars, but we converted that to creativity. So the coming generations, to convert it to creativity, changing times, and the world over, you see there is a little uncertainty of places. We have to go through those minds to discuss and run the methodology how to change, how to accept change, how to accept pain, and how to accept change and pain and convert it to creativity. These are certain messages that has been given. All the volumes have not been translated because so much of going. I got one language released. I'm going now, I'll get the Kerala language released. Something coming up, I think Japanese or something is coming. So it is full. I'm not having time. Arigato gozaimasu. I was in Tokyo for some time. So it is the common. I just put, so let us say, those who change this society, please, you are sitting in the King's County. Some changes come. This book speaks about changes to come and face it. Changes come in revolutionary method or in evolutionary method. There are two ways how changes come in history. Witness history and learn it. It may come in evolutionary method slowly or evolutionary method. It can come. But whenever change comes, which fast or changes are fundamental concepts, themes of society carried over hundreds of years, there is an impact. Like you take a big gun, put it here, shoot it, there is backlash. And then who takes that backlash? And Abraham Lincoln took it, and Martin Luther King took it, Mahatma Gandhi took it. Who took that backlash? Who is the best teacher then? Who taught us how to face a change? Take the backlash. A teacher is not only for teaching, or payment. A teacher is guiding principle of society. Mother is not teaching only. It is a guiding principle without which human race would not have existed. It is a constant. Like I was listening to one video. One baby is in class, very touching, I will tell you. A teacher asked, what sort of how do you like your mother? She said, I want an offline mother, not an online mother. She says cryingly, I want my mother not to be in phone always, but sit beside me and tell me a story. I want offline mother. I want my mother not to get things from outside, cook a little whatever and feed me. I don't want mom at night to see a movie with alone or something. Be with me and dad and let's share our life. So I want an online mother, not an offline mother. This is the reality, a student and teacher. You want a teacher who will be part of your personality. So Guru Bhagavat, again. It details all this, and entire history, how it evolved in our country, I think from 3000 BC. and what contributions they give, and what contributions, perhaps if we adopt some of it to our curricular system, it can give in the changing scenario. The important is the changing scenario, therefore calls for changing methodology. The changing, are we adequately thinking of the changing scenario and methodology is one of the things that have been touching my mind. And it ought to touch. Because if it doesn't touch, what are you meant exactly for? Like, let us say I'm 76, 77. I know, your native country, you've got much, much longer people. But I consider it, when you touch that plus 70 age, okay, you've got lot of experience. Built over 7, 8 decades. But you have less of time to segregate. Come logically, if you have more experience, but less of time to segregate, what should you do? You should work fast. You should give your best. At that time, you cannot just consider only your children or your relatives. No, sir. That's being selfish. Because then your entire knowledge is not meant for you. Because you will go one day. Why not segregate it? That is a fundamental principle. In when you say Guru theory, it differentiates between the materialistic aspect to teaching and the non-materialistic emotional, or emotion is sometimes hyper-rational. We don't understand it. Like I said, I have less time to live, more experience, so I'm giving it. Rationality wrong. Why shouldn't I write book and earn money? But if that is hyper-rationality, which will sustain society and give examples for the next generations to carry on with that. I'd express, you would be very delighted to know that this Guru Bhagavat, when it started in the world, many places, its main game started with Seattle. Do you know? Oh, please clap it, I would love it. I tell you, you have a radio here, radio. Bellevue, Desi, 1250 FM, Guru Bhagavat started on every Sunday, relate from 2016 to 2018, when it not got anywhere. It started here, and it is so significant, or a historical culmination of a thought that I am sitting in front of you and thanking you for giving a supporting hand to this concept and issue, which is not mine, it is yours too, because you started it. Before going, I wish my wife Mira was here. Then I would not have stayed in the hotel. She is the house, but did not give me the key. She thought I'll mess it up if she is not there. So I'm staying in the hotel. She is the house here in Penang. So I'm a part and parcel of this place. Secretary, and that radio was started by Mr. Das. Let me tell you, I understand this place. I met the police chief today, talking about issues, because I'm now, my wife has a house, I'm also part of it, obviously. The King County, which cities like Bellevue, Borean, Seattle, and many others known for their inclusivity. I think our deputy mayor introduced that word inclusivity for somebody here. Cultural diversity and intellectual vibrancy provides the perfect backdrop for this celebration. It's the perfect backdrop. I would have not felt as easy, as comfortable, perhaps in any other place. That's what I feel here. One more thing. We have a way of viewing a thing from a limited calorized scope, not rotating, and thinking that the perfection. Perfection cannot be in one angle. Perfection is multi-angle. 360. 360 degree gives the perfection of anything. Otherwise, single action is binary, 0 or 1. That's okay for materialism. But for understanding, one has to have accept more and more and more from others, other culture, while accepting the best of others' culture. While accepting the best of other culture, we should retain our originality. We don't have to lose our originality at all when accepting the best of others' culture. Guru Bhagavat tells this exactly. How to retain your culture? How do you retain your culture exactly? While accepting others' culture, it sometimes becomes a contradiction. There's an art and a science of retaining our own culture, while accepting other cultures with due dignity. That is what is one of the major themes that is coming for future. Today, before 30 years, is a global community, more intense, vibrant, active, hyperkinetic. The globality of this, or the rotundity, let's call it, of the world, is hyperkinetic now. Anything you are sitting here, I know what is happening in Sri Lanka. Hyperkinetic. So, I'll tell this last thought to take over by the IT guys. A process is forcing the products, animal life. A process of IT, which they are advancing very fast, like artificial intelligence. This is the process. That is not the product. But it is forcing us, those who are to create that product in a much faster pace than sometimes we can afford. The process is forcing the creation of products. Not the requirement of product is forcing the process. Somewhere it is, but think over and how much of productivity we need somewhere. So it is very good for the future. But sometimes there is no time to breathe even before catch up with the next. And how do the children at this age cope up with this? Question is how do the main point is not you and me. What we have created is not you and me. We have created for the next generations. Please understand. That's very, very important. We may product, we may masquerade over the happiness of creating. How do that go? These professors, I mentioned Professor Penn University, a very good professor, well done 20, 30 PhDs. The question is, I said, what is the difference now? He said, now it is different for the teachers to face the students unless they are very well prepared. Okay. For example, I am writing a book by HarperCollins, and they are also asking me writing something. Very simple question, take over. The concerned person, the topmost person of that one organization comes to me for writing of a book. Tells me, let us write small books for kids. I said, what age to what age for making you understand what? I'll come up with a book. Because Guru Bhagavat gives this answer. 5 to 10 or 7 to 10, what is God? I was in our community group, I called children from the age of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put them there. Asked each of them to give a reply. You put a question. Ask 6 children of age group and ask them to give a reply. And that reply is in truthfulness. And that is where our pick-up standards is to change now. We have to go to them, pick up the questions and answers they are giving, and merge our wisdom. What you may do. That's what I've been dabbling on. A very good small baby told me, what is God? He said, take a doggy dog, kick it, turns it's God. Simple, straight answer. At the God, a dog, dirt is a God. Very simple answer. But then how to make it concept? What is a God? It's the most difficult answer. It is the most difficult answer to explain to 5 or 7 year children. So, these are the various areas in which I have handled the book. Only celebrating is meaningless unless there is utility. The day you don't find utility, don't respect or honor anything, that's a trash. I am not into these things. And at the last, before I thank everybody, who would not like to talk long, you are all erudite people, much more than me, knowledgeable, some of you. The whole idea is to get the wisdom that I have with experience with lakhs of people. I met any number of people. I met every week about 1,000 or more people, new people. And I get it from them, kids particularly, to understand the world better, because the takeoff is from there. These are to get the, and compare this teaching methodology of today, that I am presuming, with the earlier methodologies prevalent. Was there a methodology by the teachers, gurus, which can be used today in the changing circumstances? That is one area in which I am touching. Can it be? Yes, there can be. Like I have told you, there is one Upanishad written. Upanishad is like the Vedas, part of it, in which their whole book was created by the teachers as to how to put the questions. How to put the questions. That's very relevant, as it was yesterday, as is today, and shall be equally relevant to all. Therefore, that is actually to the world to shed light on the timeless teachings. That is the potential is to guide and transfer our lives. Teacher-student relationship in the Oriental and the Occidental culture. Occidental is Northern Hemisphere, we call ourselves Oriental. And in the Oriental, the Eastern culture, Japan, China, all those countries, Korea, etc., you will find the role of gurus very powerful, very well done. They sacrifice themselves to society in the past. We go to any culture for getting this. Even whom you call the tribal culture, so no, sir, they are much more stronger in their beliefs, and so they sustain when they may have the power of God. They sustain by their principle. Maybe through fruit, maybe through love, maybe through sacrifice for each other under the command of unity. So, it is showcasing the mutual appreciation and respect for each other in this democratic country. We are democratic in India, but actual democratic and federalism through the process of change of history was established here. In fact, United States in a way is the mother of many civilizations coming, playing here. They are best, giving their best. Many, they all came from Europe, Africa, India, where not they have come. So this is an experimental country. The experimental country has the power to evolve faster than a conservatively settled party, because change becomes difficult. And I've seen whenever in difficulty, they invent. The Americans here and Indians who are there, diaspora people here. I've been telling them one thing. Again, the Guru Bhagavat says, if you are here, take the best of culture, contribute to them, merge with them. Don't sit in a corner. Be a part of them in essence, not in form only. For example, when I was in New Zealand, I was doing a conference. The first thing is how to, now it's like a teaching, how to merge with people. I said, you have to merge with people, go to them first. Open your heart and go to them. Nobody is a fool. The quality of mind and heart people have, they can understand. So, first is show what you can give rather than what you can take. So, said they donated a lot of money to the children's hospital. I said, that is the first action. Let's do it, see what anybody does. The teacher says, go out, my child, mix with people in your new country. That is the history, culture from thousands of years. Say, let us take a simple example, last example. Somebody's child goes, fights with another child, comes back to the mother. A child goes out, say let us 10 to 11 years, fights with another boy, gets all the abuse, comes back to mother. What does the mother say? Go and bash him up. What does the mother say? Go and bash him up. Why did you bash him up? Why are you crying in no good two-penny fellow? Or the mother takes care of him, tells him, my son, okay, you had a fight. We'll discuss about it. First be peaceful. Let me take care of you. This is a concept. Every mother will do that, howsoever so-called storms. So this is a teaching. Therefore in society, every time we have anything, we go to the fundamentals teacher, mother or father, whosoever. And I am telling again this Indian diaspora, whenever the culture, that culture becomes like your father culture there, you live your whole life now, your next generations will come. Get the best of your culture, merge with the existing culture. I am very happy. I played him playing flute. I feel like playing flute with him. My friend sitting there. I am almost touched by the appreciation, the proclamations you have, which I do not deserve. Because whether I deserve or not depends on whether you accept or not. Please understand. Let us not be egoistic to say, I deserve, nobody deserves. And my last thing before thanking you all, one thought, is while coming, the greatness of doing things. I have written in this book. The greatness of doing things makes a very unhappy life sometimes. Very unhappiness. In the process to become extraordinary somehow, who fail to be ordinary even. Sometimes the urge to become great. Being great, nobody says no. But let it not be a painful situation later on. That is what one of the things. Whatever we create a pressure on our head. Some people suffer from creation is fine. Ego of money, let us say. Ego of knowledge, again. Ego of age. Ego of being a guru, like one subject from me. These are the pressures we carry on our head. And we want to maintain it somehow. Life is never free till death. Life is, we create things, but we don't enjoy beyond a point because the pressure of maintaining it is too much on us. The pressure is too much. How to grow, create, yet not have the pressure? That is an art. One should learn. Yes, I am so old, sir. I am telling you, for Indian diaspora, please listen. The Lieutenant Governor, Bhanu, who actually had honored me with a plaque, I was shocked to find him in a queue for purchasing sabji in a place. This is unthinkable in India. Sorry, Mr. Bhanu. That shows his personality because he is being a Lieutenant Governor has not pressed him so down that he can stand to purchase his cookie. Personality is completely limited to a retired post. And he is not, you should better give him clapping, I am clapping. Take over. Because the power did not get into his head. Maybe the culture is also there, but then even then. So you observe the best in others. I observe the best in the culture here. This girl Kim was speaking, thank you Kim, from Hawaiian Islands. How I wish you were younger and you could go there. She's like with us. Here is a cultural mix-up. The cultural mix-up, no difference at all, unless we shed our. How does the teacher teach you to shed your limitations? Therefore we say, removing blindness is the first work of the teacher and enlightening is the second work. Unless the blindness means irrelevant logics or prejudices. Or somebody like Ku Klux Klan type bad people. You had a word for that. First is removal of ignorance. To say that no, this is not correct. But most of us will find it difficult to say, this is not correct. There it requires self-analysis. Since that is not coming very easily, better to have somebody who can clarify, or a book. A book can be also a teacher, because the best teacher. You don't have to be human being necessarily. These are my words. Thank you very much. And Dash and all people who have a gratitude to all those who have made this celebration possible. I am truly honored to have opportunity to share my feelings, what I am saying. There is a lot more to say, but no. And it gives me an idea that a right cause, if played to the tune of emotionalism, emotional rationality, we differentiate these two words. Emotion has a rationality. Or people are explained in correct language. That's a kind of teaching. To the correct audience, in the correct time, in a correct atmosphere, it goes through. Thank you all. Somebody, because I am coming often, and let me tell you, in the United States of all the places, this is the place which I love the most, and love you all. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you very much for being here.